The Bain family massacre, the crime that gripped New Zealand. This world is full of mysterious things. The crime world is one of them. Have you heard about the Bain family massacre? Yes, this is one of the most mysterious things in the crime world. What happened in it? And what was the whole matter? Hello everyone, and welcome back to Crime Point. We are back here again with a piece of interesting news. There has been a massacre that has gripped New Zealand, and it is now popularly known as the Bain family massacre. Let us look at this in a little bit more detail. Make sure you watch this full video to know everything about it. Robin and Margaret Bain and 3 of their 4 children, Arawa, Laniet, and Stephen, were shot and killed in Dunedin, New Zealand on June 20th, 1994. David Cullen Bain, the oldest son and only survivor, and Robin Bain, the father, were the only people who could have done it. 5 counts of murder were brought against 22-year-old David Bain. In May 1995, he was found guilty on all 5 counts and given a sentence of life in prison with no chance of parole for at least 16 years. Joe Karam, who used to play rugby and is now in business, took up Bain's case. In 2007, Bain's legal team, guided by Karam, successfully appealed to the Privy Council, which declared there had been a substantial miscarriage of justice. In May 2007, David Bain was let out on bail. All of the charges against him were dropped at his second trial in June 2009. Even after Bain was found not guilty, people kept talking about the case and whether or not he should get paid for the years he spent in prison. Ian Binney, a retired justice of Canada Supreme Court, was asked to look into what happened and tell the government whether or not compensation should be paid. This was done in November 2011. Binney concluded that the Dunedin police had made egregious mistakes and that the extraordinary circumstances of the case meant that compensation was due. The High Court Judge Robert Fisher told the Minister of Justice to turn down this report, which he did. In March 2015, the government asked Ian Callanan, a retired judge from Australia's High Court, to look over Bain's claim for compensation again. Callanan's review showed that, on the balance of probabilities, Bain was not innocent. However, the government paid $925,000 to Bain as a gift to settle the case. Margaret Arawa Cullen and Robin Irving Bain got married in Dunedin, New Zealand in 1969. David was born in 1972, Arawa in 1974, Laniet in 1976, and Stephen in 1978. They moved to Papua New Guinea in 1974, where Robin worked as a teacher for missionaries. In 1988, the family moved back to New Zealand. Robin became the head of Tairi Beach School 3 years after he went back home. The family lived at 65 Every Street in Andersons Bay, Dunedin, in June 1994. The house was old and half abandoned. At this point, Robin and Margaret had grown apart. David went to Otago University to study music and classics. He also had a part-time job delivering newspapers in the morning. Arawa went to Otago Teachers College, which later became the School of Education at Otago University, while Stephen was in high school. Laniet worked part-time at Dunedin and lived away from home. On the evening of Sunday, June 19th, she went back to the family home to attend a family meeting. At 7:09 a.m. on June 20th, 1994, David Bain was very upset and called the emergency number 111. He told the operator, "They're all dead, they're all dead." When the police arrived, they found 5 members of the Bain family dead. Robin, age 58, his wife Margaret, age 50, their daughters Arawa, age 19, and Laniet, age 18, and their son Stephen, age 18, had all been shot. On a computer, a message was found that said, "Sorry, you are the only one who should have stayed." David, who was 22 at the time, was charged with 5 counts of murder 4 days later. In May 1995, Bain's first trial at the Dunedin High Court lasted 3 weeks. The Crown said that Bain shot and killed his mother, 2 sisters, and brother before going to get the morning paper. The order in which he did this was not clear. Bain said that when he got home from getting the morning paper, he didn't turn on the lights. He went downstairs to the bathroom to wash his hands, which were covered in black newsprint, and then put some clothes in the washing machine. Crown Prosecutor W.J. Wright said in his closing statement that Bain killed his family to get his inheritance, which his parents had saved for a new house. In his summary, Justice Neil Williamson told the jury that the Crown had said these events were so strange and unusual that no logical or reasonable explanation could be thought of. Little was said about why Robin did what he did. Dean Cottle was supposed to testify in court about Laniet's relationship with her father, but he didn't show up when he was called. When he did show up, Justice Williamson didn't trust him as a witness and ruled that his testimony couldn't be used. At the end of the trial, the jury found Bain guilty of 5 counts of murder and gave him a sentence of life in prison with no chance of parole for 16 years. Joe Karam, who used to play rugby for the All Blacks, thought something was wrong with the case and led a long campaign to get Bain's convictions overturned. He went to prison more than 200 times to see Bain and wrote 4 books about the case. Karam wrote in his books that David's innocence is the only possible conclusion and that he was totally innocent. Karam was then called a freedom fighter by some news outlets, and his support led to a retrial in 2009. In 1995, the first request was made to the New Zealand Court of Appeal. The main question was whether the trial judge made a mistake by not letting Cottle's testimony in. The court didn't hear the case because the Crown's case seemed very strong and the defense's theory didn't make any sense at all. Bain asked the Governor General for a pardon in June 1998, and the request was sent to the Ministry of Justice. In 2000, Justice Minister Phil Goff said that the investigation showed that the Crown's case against Bain may have been wrong in several ways. In March 2007, Karam and the rest of Bain's legal team went to London to make 9 points to the Privy Council about why Bain's conviction should be thrown out. 2 of the 9 points were about Robin's state of mind and what he might be up to. The other 7 questions were about specific pieces of evidence. The Privy Council said that there was a lot of doubt that Bain would have been found guilty if the jury had seen evidence found after the trial. The Privy Council came to this conclusion. In the board's view, the new evidence presented on the 9 points as whole forces the conclusion that there has been a serious miscarriage of justice in this case. The Privy Council overturned Bain's convictions and ordered a new trial, but said he should stay in jail until the new trial is over. The High Court in Christchurch let Bain go free on bail on May 15, 2007. Justice Fogarty said that, under New Zealand law, there was no reason to keep him in jail, so he was let out on bail and sent to live with Karam, who has been a supporter of his for a long time. He was given a life sentence with a minimum of 16 years without parole, which he served. The jury was sworn in on March 6, 2009 at the Christchurch High Court, where the retrial took place. Bain pleaded not guilty to the 5 murder charges. The defense said that Robin killed the people and then killed himself. The trial lasted about 3 months, and the jury found Bain not guilty of all 5 charges in less than a day. Some people didn't like how the jurors acted when they hugged Bain and went to a victory party after the verdict. This is unusual behavior, but the whole case is unusual, said Chris Gallivan, a senior law lecturer at Canterbury University. After the retrial, New Zealand's chief coroner talked with the local coroner and others to decide if inquests should be held into the deaths, since the verdict suggested that the death certificates might not be correct. But there were no inquests. A Law Society spokesman said that even if the coroner's findings were different from the verdict in the retrial, Bain could not be sued again because of this. And that's all for this video. Let us know in the comment box what should have happened in this trial. I hope you liked the video, and if yes, please like and share it with your friends. Also, if you want to watch more videos like this, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. Thanks for watching!